Hey everybody, welcome to Touchpoints. I'm David Bucinelli, founder of Studio 16 Architecture. This series is about the people, moments, and experiences that shape who we are, sometimes instantly, sometimes decades later. Each week I share a story from my own journey, an influence, a connection, or a lesson that continues to spark and impact my life and career. My hope is that these stories inspire reflection, initiate conversation, and maybe even help you to recognize the touch points in your own life. So this is episode 3. And this is building on episodes 1 and 2, where I began with my friend Tom, and how if I had not met Tom over 30 years ago, I wouldn't be sitting here in my office in Asbury Park, New Jersey. So today, I'm going to tell you a little story about two guys, George Smith and Mike Anicito. Now, Mike and George do know each other. In previous videos, other guys didn't know each other, but I'm here because they both said the same thing. So, George Smith, I met on LinkedIn because he had been liking the post I was doing about the buildings that we were designing. And I reached out to him one day and said, hey, thank you very much for liking my posts. Are you interested in architecture? And George replied back, yes, I am. I'm in real estate as well as being an MD, et cetera, et cetera. So we carried on that conversation sporadically. And then one day, George reached out to me via LinkedIn and asked me if I would like to attend a meeting of the Italian Club of Staten Island Foundation, of which he was the president at the time. And I accepted the gracious invitation, and I went to a meeting, thoroughly enjoyed it, and met George face to face, as well as other people, and some of whom I had actually known professionally and personally who were there, and then decided to join the club. Now, a certain period of time did go by, and a guy by the name of Mike Anicito, who's now a friend of mine, contacted me about officially applying to the club for membership and going through the vetting process, which I did. And that took some time for various reasons. And I got contacted and I joined and went through the induction ceremony. At the induction ceremony, I'm sitting and talking with Mike, and he asked me if I knew a certain architect on locally, and I said, yes. How do you know Glenn? And he said, well, I saw him at my Bible study meeting last week. I said, oh, interesting. I didn't know he did that, but that's good to know. And yeah, I've known Glenn for 30 years, et cetera, et cetera. So a couple of weeks later, I texted Mike and asked him about the Bible study group, because I had been going through some things and I thought that I really should be doing something like that. So, the interesting part about this is that this is only a few weeks after Charles and Turner Nicola, who I mentioned last episode 2, told me that I should reach out to Chad Reyes. Now, keep that, because I asked Mike, what the story was with the Bible study, and he said that a guy named Chad Reyes ran it. Which floored me, and he reached out to Chad, and Chad said, yes, I'd love to meet him and have him come down. So I did, and I've been going and I've been doing this ever since, and the group has morphed into different methods of doing Bible study, but we're still, and Chad's a friend of mine, and I see him quite often. So Mike and Charles don't know each other, at least not to my knowledge. And this happened literally weeks apart. So not only is it a touch point, but it's a fascinating study in, how do I put this, in getting guided to where we're supposed to be. Now, I encourage you to think back in your lives about moments like this, and think about where you are and the things that happened and the people that you met that got you there. Just contemplate that for a while. So thank you very much for listening to this, which is episode 3. My hope is that these stories spark something meaningful in your own journey, reminding you of the people and moments that continue to shape who you are. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might find it valuable. And if you'd like to hear more, please follow me here and subscribe on YouTube so you never miss an episode. Episodes drop every Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. on YouTube and on LinkedIn and Instagram every Tuesday morning between 9:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. So look for those. Thanks again. I'm David Bucinelli, President of Studio 16 Architecture. See you next time as we explore another touch point together.